Good evening, and congratulations to all the inductees here this evening. It is a privilege and honor to introduce the next inductee, Bob Hageman. When asked to consider introducing Bob here, I jumped at the opportunity. What a way I can get back at this character in front of all these people. I know he's nervous what will come out of my mouth next. I know the video talked about JMB. Let me share a little more about this company that Bob built, and a little more about Bob himself. JMB is a relatively unknown entity outside the media industry and no-name stakes. It's a humble company that does not shout about itself, like its founder. Bob, the meathead, and we say that with kind sincerity, built a company today almost $1 billion and a home for 800 associates and their families. The company ships business into 48 states domestically, and 3 years ago started shipping internationally and has over 1,200 customers. Actually, Bob would say this is a miracle, as his business plan started on the back of a napkin. To understand Bob, we have to start by focusing on JMB's company's culture and its associates. We call our employees associates out of respect, as we are all colleagues, and actually we work for them. Bob has a saying at JMB: expect the best from everyone you interact with, praise them for their accomplishments, and you'll reap as its rewards extraordinary results from ordinary people. In other words, Bob made it clear, we put people, values, and culture before strategy. If you nurture your associates, they will always exceed expectations. We have no plaques on our walls shouting our values. We live and breathe it daily. We call it JMB Cares, a philosophy built on respect and our people. When we talk to our associates, Bob would say, come to JMB to make a living. More importantly, stay to make a life. And on the journey, let's hold hands so we can serve to make a difference for a better tomorrow. I've been talking about our company culture because it characterizes Bob's core beliefs. Bob, after all, is the one who created the driving philosophy behind JMB Cares. You see, the story behind the story is that Bob left a toxic culture to start a company we could really believe in. He knew there was a better way to do business. He started JMB on a handshake over 40 years ago. He has never wavered. We will do business the right way. We will treat our associates as our #1 asset. At Bob's core is his belief in faith, family, and people. His essence starts with faith first. God will show you the way if you only listen. Bob is truly driven by a greater being supporting his decisions and actions. He is an internal optimist. He believes the glass is always half full. He believes in common sense rules. Folks, don't overthink it. Bob leads with trust, and he is a humble man. I can tell you he is extraordinarily uncomfortable tonight receiving such an honor. Bob believes your family is everything. Whether it is his family or the 800 associates and their families. He demands we provide a top-notch benefit package. Every year, he engages in our associates' lives by sending anniversary cards and birthday cards, thanking them for their contributions, thanking their family, more importantly, for their support. He hosts anniversary dinners with associates and their spouses, and he beams at the success the JMB families are having. After faith and family, it's about people. It's about enhancing the lives of others. He lives the golden rule. It started in 1972 where Bob invested in himself. He went and took the Dale Carnegie course. This course changed his life. He saw life and business from a different perspective. It helped his confidence, and it built a better Bob. Today, he passes that gift on to all of our associates under the JB University umbrella, Invest in Yourself. We have over 325 graduates of the Dale Carnegie course and is offered free of charge for all who join JMB. Additionally, over 60% of our job postings are filled from internal associates taking on more responsibility, scope, and scale. Enhancing people's lives and investing in people is what Bob is all about. Part of our values in JB Cares is enjoyment. We spend so much time together, Bob says we have to have fun. Bob has fun. Even in the heaviest situation, Bob tries to keep things light, in the belief that people think more clearly if they're not stressed. He's known for his crazy, fun socks and trinkets. We will walk around the company together, and the associates yell at Bob, "Bob, what kind of socks you got on today?" He'll stop, he'll pull up his pants, and there they are, the craziest socks in the world. And sometimes they play music. Keep that in mind, it may play out a bit later. Don't underestimate Bob, the smart business driver. Bob believes in people, but he also believes in winning. On the business front, he made it clear we will not accept complacency. As an entrepreneur, he encouraged new ventures to fuel the spirit and the growth of the company. That said, this wise businessman with clarity said, "Go ahead, bet a cow, bet a pig, bet a horse, or bet a chick. Never bet the entire farm." In a leadership meeting, our team could see through to potentially get into one of our major milestones, attain $1 billion in revenue. A little St. Michael growing to $1 billion. We were excited until Bob spoke and said, "You must have misheard me. I said $2 billion was the goal." Funny man, he was serious. It has been my honor to share Bob Hageman with all of you. In summary, Bob's belief in the infinite capacity of the human spirit is at his core. That is why everyone loves him and will do anything for him. People feel better just by being around him. On behalf of all the J&B associates and the Hageman family, it is my pleasure to introduce to all of you Mr. Chief Meathead of J&B, Bob Hageman.
Well, believe it or not, today we have a couple of people that have been to college out there. So I don't want you to think that we don't take advantage of colleges too. Thank you, Chuck, for the kind words and the introduction. This honor is truly appreciated, and I sincerely thank David Anderson and David Brownshoe of the Brownshoe Companies for sponsoring me in this event. I'm humbled to share the stage with such an incredible group of leaders and congratulate each one of you for your accomplishments, each one of the fellow inductees. Hopefully through the video with Chuck, I have a little bit of an eye issue here, but hopefully through the video with Chuck's introduction, you were able to understand a little more of who and what J&B Group is about. When someone hears the story of how it came about, a common question is asked of me. Did you ever think the company would get this big? And my answer is always the same: never. None of the business factors needed for success existed. I had no money, I had no formal education, no customers, but the one thing I did have was a belief that if I provided an extraordinary service, unwavering quality, and lived consistent to my values, something good might be the outcome. 40 years later, I can now confidently profess this simple recipe creates success. Through this 40-year journey, I've been fortunate to work with so many talented people who contributed to our growth and success. They have provided steadfast support even during difficult times. Colleen, my wife, who never lost faith in me. Mike and Lori, my son and daughter, for their constant support. The committed associates who make it all happen every day. And our loyal customers and vendor community. And overarching all of these is my deep and abiding faith in God, who has divinely guided my entire life. The J&B journey substantiates that miracles can happen. In closing, Chuck mentioned my fun side. I've long held the philosophy that people perform better if you can break through the stress of the daily business issues. One way I've gained a reputation is by wearing crazy socks. So, I know the burning question is, that each of you might have, is what is he wearing tonight? Well, I'm not too good on my feet, but I've got my green socks. We gave each associate a pair of these for our anniversary, and I brought an extra pair for each of my fellow inductees as a reminder for you to add a bit of humor to your work life. Thank you all, and God bless.